Hello there, I'm Owen Huntsinger, and the biofuel I decided to choose was ethanol and creating biomass, using biomass to create ethanol. Sorry. What is ethanol and how is it used? Well, the chemical formula for ethanol is CH3CH2OH, and the OH group there at the end is going to tell you that it is an alcohol and it uses alcohol fermentation. So here is my pitiful drawing of how ethanol is distributed. So it starts at corn farming, then move to corn transportation, and this corn is going to be transported to ethanol production facilities, however that may be, and distribution through railroads, trucks, whatever. And then there's fuel dispensing. This is supposed to be a guy pumping gas at a gas station into his car. And then the last step here, the vehicle actually moving. So ethanol is an alcohol, like I said, and is used as a blending agent. So there are multiple blends that come from gasoline and ethanol, including E10, E15, and E85. E10 would just say that 10% of that gasoline is ethanol and 90% is gas. So nearly 90% of gasoline in the United States contains ethanol. So it is a very abundant biofuel. So the creation and use of base products of ethanol. So there's two main ways. It's corn and feedstocks, although you can use any plant because all plants contain glucose, which is the main product in alcohol fermentation. So 90% of ethanol is made from dry mill corn manufacturers. Feedstocks or cellulosic feedstocks are grass, wood, and crop residues. Almost all ethanol plants are located in the Midwest. Ethanol plants, meaning like where they manufacture it, not like an actual plant, are located in the Midwest because of the abundance of corn farming there. So, how's ethanol produced? Ethanol is created using alcohol fermentation. Uh, as you can see, another pitiful drawing here, but this is the cycle of alcohol fermentation. Glucose comes in, 2 ADP, go in, 2 ATP, come out, 2 pyruvates are formed, 2 CO2 come out, 2 acetaldehydes are created, and then you can see this last product here, 2 ethanol. So the history of ethanol. Henry Ford and Alexander Graham Bell were some of the first to discover that these sugars and plants could be easily used as clean burning fuels. Of course, they're not the ones that did the science, I would imagine. Since the creation of vehicles, society has always been looking for a better and cleaner way to run the engines. And in the present time, ethanol is still the top used biofuel used in relation to car engines. And today, like once again, renewable fuel refineries are at their peak of operation and are only looking at an upward trend until the creation of these electric vehicles take over. So, ethanol and the carbon footprint. Well, ethanol produces about 53.3 grams of CO2 per megajoule, and its counterpart, gasoline, produces 98.5 grams of CO2 per megajoule, which is a 46% difference. That's quite large, in my opinion, I would say. And so I think it's a fair thing to say that ethanol is the best option until the electric vehicles are available and, cheap enough for everyone. So the economic impact of ethanol. Well, these plants and manufacturers create jobs in rural areas. And in 2021, ethanol accounted for 73,000 jobs and also 52.1 billion of the gross domestic product. And the politics of ethanol, I don't like talking about politics, but conservationists, they advertise for the stopping of burning fossil fuels, and for a good reason. They're still ethanol is clear that it's still not good for our environment if it's producing 48 point whatever 53.3 CO2 per megajoule. I mean, it's still using CO2. And on the other hand, there are a large amount of people that simply can't they can't do that. Plan to stop the creation and burning of fuel with no budget. I would say all electric vehicles, replenish the carbon footprint, and create jobs for the fossil fuel industry when it shuts down, because there's a lot of people that work in that industry. And here are my references. Thank you.